With one of their very first signings in this undrafted free agency period, San Francisco just signed the offensive guard Drew Moss out of Colorado State. He comes in at 6'4", weighing 300 pounds, and he has a relative athleticism score of 9.28 out of 10, including a 4.58 short shuttle. And already in his collegiate career, he started in 47 games to really highlight his durability and dependability. But most impressively to me was his PFF grades last year. According to PFF, for instance, he was the second highest graded guard across all college football, while earning a run block grade of 92.5 and a pass block efficiency grade of 98.8. That was good enough for the 21-year-old to earn an overall grade of 90.5. And when you turn on the film, it tells the same exact story. A dominant guard, and honestly, I like him more than San Francisco's draft pick, Connor Colby. He's a little bit shorter, coming in at 6'4", but that's similar to Dominic Puni's height at 6'5", and that'll also make it easier for Brock Purdy to see over the middle of his offensive line. And because of his lower center of gravity and having almost the same exact weight as Colby, he does a much better job of anchoring in pass protection, and his pass protection could be seen as a strength of his. And while he doesn't have the longest arms, they are longer than Colby's, coming in at 32 1/8 inch. All of this is to say, I truly believe Drew Moss is a perfect fit for San Francisco's guard position, and he could end up starting as a rookie. So in this video, I want to dive a little bit deeper into the player that is Drew Moss so we can understand what he does well on the football field, what he needs to improve on, and what we can really expect out of him as a rookie. Starting out with his strengths, he's an absolute dominant run blocker. He does a great job of getting underneath players' pads and then plays with natural leverage, often driving them into the floor. But what's really unique about Moss is he's not just a power blocker, but he has extremely nimble feet and has a nice ability to get to the second level, which is really evident by his RSA score as mentioning earlier. And when he gets to the second level, it's not that he's just out there looking around and just occupying space. He's actually able to engage with smaller players because of his athleticism. On this play specifically, for instance, you can see how he's able to make it up to the second level, and he's engaging with this smaller linebacker, really flipping his hips, executing a near perfect hook block, and you can see how this creates an alleyway right behind him for the running back to run. This is high level stuff, and you can see how this will transition nicely into San Francisco's heavy outside zone system. In a similar way on this play, Moss is tasked with making his way up to the second level and blocking this linebacker. I don't think many people realize just how challenging it is for a player of his size. But still, he's able to get up there, flip his hips, and does a pretty good job of not drawing the holding call, just getting his way and springing this run. Another vital part in San Francisco's offense is the ability for guards to double team up to the second level. And Moss has a great ability to drive defensive linemen down the field, and then once he is down the field, he's always looking for work, even if that means dragging his running back for an additional couple yards. Tied directly to Drew Moss's run block grade of 92.5 is his grip strength. While he does have a little bit shorter of arms, when he does grab a hold of you and get inside your pads, he's going to be driving you down the field or into the ground. He's just so aggressive, and I love that aspect about his game. To really highlight this point, on this play, Drew Moss is down blocking on this defensive lineman, but pay attention to his hand position. He's able to sink double underhooks deep into this defensive lineman's pads, which makes it nearly impossible for him to get away when you pair that with his grip strength. And I love how he's keeping his feet active to drive him down the field. Another reason I'm really excited about Drew Moss entering San Francisco's offense is last year with Colorado State, they ran a lot of similar concept as San Francisco's offense, so we gotta see the skills necessary executed at a high level. Whether that be a hook block or the ability to push a defensive lineman down the field so a wide receiver can come back around on a jet sweep. While so far for Drew Moss, I've mainly just been highlighting how dominant of a run blocker he is, what sets him light years ahead of Connor Colby in my opinion is his pass blocking. And this is really highlighted by his pass block efficiency score of 98.8. And when I'm watching his film, one of my favorite things in his pass blocking game is his ability to continually look for work and pick up blitzers. Initially on this play, for instance, he does a nice job of punching this defensive lineman coming across his face to help out his guard, and then he sees the blitzing backer, so he sheds him, and because in part due to his athleticism score, he gets there and understands if he just takes him where he wants to go, he'll be out of the play, and does a great job of using his momentum against him. Overall, when I look at a play like this, I can't help but seeing a player like Pooney. During his rookie year, we saw him routinely help out other offensive linemen in pass protection, and that's why I see out of Drew Moss. Another reason I believe Drew Moss is the perfect fit for San Francisco's passing offense is his ability to run their concepts to perfection. On this play, for instance, Colorado State is going to be running a naked boot, which means Moss is responsible for pushing this defensive lineman to the right side of this offensive line while not driving them down the field. And he does just that, and I love his ability to mirror defensive linemen due to his athleticism. Speaking of Moss's athleticism, a concept San Francisco absolutely loves in their passing game is just simple screens. This gets their offensive linemen out on the move, going against smaller defensive backs and linebackers. While this means they can definitely overpower them, many offensive linemen just can't keep up with the defensive back's speed and agility. But for Moss, that's his strength. He routinely gets inside smaller players' pads and does a great job of executing hook blocks. On this play specifically, you get to see the type of player Moss is in open space. Right here, he's tasked with blocking the smaller linebacker, but because of his athleticism, he's first able to engage with him, hitting him violently with his left hand. Then, he's flipping his hips, which gives the running back an area to run behind. This is high-level stuff out of someone that went undrafted. And while he does have shorter arms, in pass protection, I do think he does a good job of getting the most out of his length, routinely locking out defensive linemen. This isn't me saying he's necessarily the most complete pass blocker at this point in his career, but what's impressive to me is how he's continued to improve over the course of his collegiate career, and he still executed at an extremely high level last season. Last year, for instance, their team only gave up 10 sacks, and he gave up 0. As impressed as I am with Moss though, I think it's fair to mention that there will be growing pains with him like there would be any other rookie. I've already touched on some of these, but also he has pretty short arms, which could lead to him grabbing defenders at the NFL level. In San Francisco's offense though, with a player like Dominic Pooney who only has 1 inch longer arms than Moss, he was able to put together a Pro Bowl level season in my opinion last year. So there's no reason for me to believe Moss doesn't have the necessary length to be an effective NFL guard. He's probably never going to be an NFL tackle, but San Francisco is in desperate need of a left guard, and that could be Moss. It's really hard for me to understate how much I like this signing from San Francisco. It's definitely my favorite undrafted free agent signing, and I think he has the potential to be one of the draft's biggest steals. But ultimately, these are just my thoughts on San Francisco signing Drew Moss, and I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. Do you think that he should start for San Francisco, and what's your favorite undrafted free agency signing so far? And it would also mean a ton to me if you could like and subscribe. I will be covering every single undrafted free agent signing, and as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.